Before you even enter into the bedroom, there are some vital mindsets that you can have and you can encourage your woman to have that will make squirting the most fun and effortless thing possible. Let's start with just your mindsets. Number one, the most important mindset for any man to have when it comes to helping his woman have a squirting orgasm is a mindset of compassion. Being compassionate, gentle, and loving towards her throughout this entire process, even if you're not in a long-term relationship, even if you never plan to get married, loving her as a woman is going to allow her to let go and have this experience with you. And knowing that you're going to be there with her through every step of the way is how you are going to guarantee that she can actually relax and let go enough to have the squirting orgasm. This is important because the squirting orgasm is very, very vulnerable for women. It is like being exposed on a level that you have not been exposed before. You have to be willing to really go there. I'm going to teach you exactly how to let this happen, but the most important thing that you can do, more important than any fingering technique, more important than any wrist action that I could teach you, is to have a mindset of compassion and tender openness towards her, as if you were just going to love her through this process no matter what happens. You're going to be there for her. You are going to be there with her. You are going to create a safe and loving environment for her to experience the squirting orgasm. Now, this is true whether or not you were having sex with a porn star or your wife of 20 years. Your ability to be there with her is going to make it or break it for her. Another important mindset that you can adopt is an enthusiastic one. Are you excited about the possibility of making her squirt? Are you enthusiastic about having sex with her? Do you approach having sex with her with an air of optimism, joy, and excitement? If you do, you are going to pave the road to a squirting orgasm. However, if you are approaching sex like a job, a chore, or a barrier, then she is going to feel that as well. And if you have a good deal of performance anxiety, being optimistic and enthusiastic is one of the best ways to overcome that so that your anxiety around sex doesn't interfere with her ability to relax and get into it. Next, a very important mindset is the belief that you can do this. There is a great saying that I use all the time with my one-on-one coaching clients that is, whether you believe you can or you can't, you're usually right. So if you believe that you can't do it, it's not going to happen, you'll probably end up making that be the case and you'll be right. On the other hand, if you believe that you can, that she can, that the two of you can work together to make this happen, you will also be right. So if you're not used to being in the mindset of optimism and can-do attitude, and this is so vital for you to be bringing into the bedroom, not just when it comes to squirting, but when it comes to any challenge that you two are experiencing in your sex and sexuality. A optimistic, lighthearted, can-do attitude is vital to have the best sex life ever. And finally, I want to talk about one mindset that's very, very important for you to erase. And if you're familiar with my other masterclass, She Comes Too, you will be familiar with this mindset, and that is the porn mindset. For many men, their experience and their exposure to porn has built within them a mindset that is shaped and colored by porn itself. I don't need to remind you that what you see in porn is a movie. It's a fiction. It's not real. And unfortunately, not enough people really know this, or perhaps you know it, but you have some trouble allowing yourself to believe it. Trust me when I say that most of the squirting that you see in porn has been altered via special effects. That can be as simple as cutting the camera, which you can't tell by the naked eye, filling her with water and then making it look like you're triggering a squirting orgasm when really it's actually just a special effect. She's been filled with water and that is what she's releasing. There are also other special effects that porn stars and porn companies use to create the illusion of squirting, and that includes different lighting, different camera angles, and maybe even some special effects in post. Remember that comparison is the thief of joy. Comparing yourself or your woman to what you've seen in porn is a surefire way to ruin a sexual experience for both of you. So, eliminating the porn mindset, eliminating the idea that squirting should happen in the way that it looks in porn, that it's going to happen the way that it looks in porn, getting rid of that mindset and allowing yourself to be open to the idea that it will look exactly how it is meant to look when you and her achieve it together. So those are the major mindsets that you can have: compassion, enthusiasm, tenderness, and openness. Openness to eliminating the porn mindset in particular. Now, what are some of the mindsets that you can help her to establish that will help her to have the squirting orgasm? Well, also a mindset of openness, not just valuable for you, but valuable for her as well. Openness to what this is going to look like. Openness to the experience itself. Openness to taking this sexual risk. If she is not open to it, that psychological closed-mindedness can often translate to body closed and can prevent her from squirting. When the mind is closed, so are the floodgates. So allowing her and encouraging her, giving her space, and showing her maybe role models or examples that allow her to cultivate an open mind around squirting will be really helpful. An explorative mindset, an enthusiastic mindset as well. Remember that especially if you've watched a lot of porn, you probably have more experience and ideas about squirting than she does. She may have never seen another woman do it. She might not have any idea what squirting is like or why squirting even matters. If that's the case, refer back to the video I made on why even make a woman squirt in Module 1. But that mindset of being willing to explore and experiment, whether it's for your benefit, hers, or both of you, is what's going to allow her to actually get into the action and get into the squirting orgasm. And finally, a relaxed mindset on her part. Can she relax in sex, allowing sex to be a natural and fluid process and releasing any ideas of what it should look like or what she should do or how her body should function. Now let's touch on some of the shared mindsets that the two of you can have together that will help to set the stage for squirting orgasm to happen. Number 1, approach squirting as a team. Both of you has a role to play when it comes to creating the squirting orgasm. You, as the man, are going to be providing the majority of the action. You're going to be the muscle on this team. You're going to create the opportunity for squirting to happen. Her job is equally as important. It is to relax, be open-minded, and to let go. I'm going to talk to you exactly about what she needs to do in order to let that happen. But coming in with the mindset is actually incredibly important even before we get into what she can physically do to relax and let go. Knowing that the two of you are working together as a team, each with your individual roles and with your shared goal, is going to help both of you to come together and enjoy this entire process. Remember, it's not one or the other. Both of you get to enjoy this and both of you get to work together to create it. And remember, even though squirting is incredibly sexy and fun for you, ultimately it's about her pleasure. Another helpful mindset that the two of you can bring in together is a no pressure, no expectations mindset. Ironically, giving her and yourself permission to not squirt and to not have the squirting orgasm can actually help it to happen, because too much pressure, as you may have experienced if you've ever had performance anxiety, can ruin the moment. So if you go into it without pressure and just with the mindset of this is fun and we're going to experiment, we're going to play, we're going to experience pleasure, we're going to see if this is possible, that mindset will be the most conducive to you trying. And you might have to try more than once. The more you have that mindset, the easier it will be to come back and try again. And finally, the last important mindset for you two to share is a mindset of experimentation. You're just two human beings, consenting adults, experimenting about what's possible when you bring both of your bodies and your minds together. If you can see sex through this lens instead of a lens of pressure or a lens of shame, but instead as two people experimenting with each other, I guarantee that not only will squirting orgasms happen, but all kinds of different orgasms and sexual pleasure and fun can all be yours. So now that we've covered the psychological and mindset prep that goes into the squirting orgasm, let's talk about the physical prep and how you can set the space and the room in order to make that squirting orgasm happen. I'll see you in the next module.